Hey, it's me, Steph from Happy Place to Grow. I am here at home compiling my favorite February math activities. Now, a lot of these activities will be Valentine's Day theme hearts. However, I want you to keep an open mind because, when you're having your celebration day and you're including lots of fun activities for Valentine's Day, you can't squeeze everything in on that one day. So just be flexible. You can use Valentine's Day activities, including these math activities, all throughout the month of February. Hey, it is the month of love. So let's get started. This first activity is a quick, independent activity that your students can do after they come in the morning and unpack. It's an addition activity, and here's all you're going to need. Some dice of your choosing, depending on what kind of adding skills your students are working on or your children are working on. So you're going to need two because you're adding. And I always like to let my students roll their dice on a cute little mat. That's optional. They're going to need some kind of a coloring, either a marker or crayon. And then this board that I use with my students came from the Mailbox magazine. Now, I'm an older teacher collecting these activities for many years. However, this is a board that can easily be formed and made up by just placing in some heart shapes and some whole numbers. Students will roll, add, and color. That's something they can do on their own as they're warming up for all the fun day's activities. The next activity or two will be subtraction related. Again, you can look up and purchase if time is valuable to you and you don't have much of it and you want to purchase things, or you can make your own. I made these little cards several years ago. They have subtraction math problems. Here's what you do. You number these, place them around the room. And again, this can be done when students come in the morning. It can be just a designated time that you have for math whenever you want to do it. I like it because they can walk around. They're going to spy for these math problems, write them down, and solve them. So you can create your own subtraction. They could be addition or multiplication. Hey, whatever you're working on. The fun part is they get to walk around. Now, this game is a game also that I created myself. It's called Cupid Cover Up. And some pictures of Cupid, he might need to be covered up. Anyhow, I just put some hearts, whole numbers. Students will roll and play against a partner, roll their dice. In this activity, they're going to subtract. So when they subtract, they cover up the difference with a colored chip. The first partner to fill their board is the winner. And I laminated these. However, you could just use them with a plain sheet of paper and they could color in if you don't have any colored chips. So again, some fun math activities that you can pop in on that special day or anytime in the month of February. Now, don't forget to include 100 board activities in all of your fun math activities. This one I got from Frank Schaefer, School Days, February, March, 1990. Okay, I'm old. It's okay. I collect things, and you will too. This one's really fun because it has these riddles. You probably won't be able to find this anymore. However, there are plenty available, I'm sure, on TPT. You can even make up your own. What I love about this one is when they answer and follow the riddles, it will make a heart shape. This one I would do whole group or with my students, not independently. However, they could do it independently. I like to do it with them because I'm going to be reading, they're going to be reading, and then we do it together and make sure that we have those colors in as they call out the clue, they've got the correct number marked. And you're going to get a lot of really great math vocabulary. One more, one less, 4 10s and 2 1s, the number that comes between, greater than, less than. So be my Valentine, 100 board clues. Now, of course, the next activity involves candy hearts. You know, every teacher in America will be using some kind of candy heart activity. This one that I'm going to show you first is something I know you already do and have. This is an older Ames education sorting mat. This one's fun because you're thinking about sorting by color, and you can talk about organizing according to a rule. They group their candy hearts. Now, years ago, I found these cute little cups at Walmart, and I like to put mine already in there. I like to do my candy hearts the same for each student, so I'll go ahead and fill the cup with the same number. So as they're organizing and I'm walking around, however, you don't have to do that if you want it to just be a free fun activity. I like to make sure that what's in their cup is actually going in the correct spot, because they're going to transfer that information to a graph. And this is the next step that they will do after they sort their colors. Then you're going to talk about the fact that they have to count each color amount and then graph it. There are different types of graphs. If your students aren't familiar with a graph, you're going to have to model for them. I know the first time I let my students this year do a graph, they were going from the top down. So just make sure you prep that with your students and make that they know how to fill that in. And just say this is a way that you can organize and count and compare the different amounts. This is another reason I like to just prep everything the day before so that I know exactly how many white, how many green, etc. So I know a lot of you already do this and will do this on that fun day in February. I do have another candy heart activity. It is one that I got out of a magazine years ago. It's a measuring activity. So I love this one because it is already pre-made for me. It's got each area, that space that the students are measuring has a start heart and a stop heart. Thus it is named heart to heart. Now, when you're talking about measuring, you can bring in lines, different types of lines, straight and curved. You can talk about that when you're measuring, you can use standard or non-standard units. In this case, they'll be using non-standard units, and the non-standard unit will be candy hearts. You can talk about the fact that they need to be measuring the length of the line or around the perimeter of the shape, and that they should be next to each other. I always like to say, make sure your unit is bumper to bumper, and that as you're spacing them out, that they're touching and they're not going too far over. They measure and write the amount. Now take that a step further for your students, which I always did, and I simply created some questions for my students to answer after measuring. Simple things like, which line is the longest? Which line is the shortest? How many hearts longer was the cat tail than the cat whisker? And here's a cute one. Add the candy stick plus the cat whisker, how many hearts? So you can take that a little step further, and then they can eat their math if they like candy hearts. Now this final activity is more of, it's math and science, I guess. It's really just a fun activity that I love to do with my students involving Valentine cards. Now you will have to prep this and make sure that each student has 5 cards. They should be numbered. I'll take these out. If you don't have Valentine cards, you're going to want to collect those. Go out and buy several boxes. If you need to break this up and do this in a small group, it can be done that way too if you don't have enough cards. But remember, after February 14th, when everything goes on sale, buy a bunch of boxes and then you'll have lots of varieties of cards. So these are numbered. This is called Heart to Heart. It is from Ames Education. I think the year on this is 2001. And it's pretty simple. However, I lost my original collection sheet, information sheet, so I had to recreate it. And this is what I came up with. I know it was similar to this. And it basically has a list of attributes, and you can talk about what an attribute is and how things can be classified or sorted according to attributes. And so in this activity, they're looking for how the cards have likenesses and differences. So the attributes: pink, red, blue colors, heart, shape, people, animals, if they fold, and then you can pick out a specific word, and then you go across 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And so all they're going to do is pull out their cards 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and the first attribute they'll look for is pink or whatever you have as your first attribute. And all the cards that have pink, they will circle and then add up the total here. And they just do that for all the cards. This is a fun activity that is just, again, something that they're thinking, looking closely, observing their Valentine cards. So you can pop this in on that special day or after Valentine. It doesn't matter because you love math and you can spread these out throughout the whole month. All right, well, I have shared several of my very favorite math activities for the month of February, and I hope that you are inspired and you're relaxing with the fact that you can spread these out throughout the whole month. That's always fun to do. Hey, why limit it? Now I'm going to close up with a quote from our book that we've been thinking about as teachers, whether you are a classroom teacher, a mom, a homeschool mom, a Gigi, a grandma, a nanny. If you are caring for kids and you are inspiring and teaching them, then you are a teacher and you make the difference. This book, First Days of School, here is our thought. And it's a good one. It's about positive expectations. It says, teachers who practice positive expectations will help their students reach high standards. Here's an example of what you can say to speak a positive word to those children and students that you are teaching. This will be an exciting class, and you are going to have the most memorable year, or you could even say most memorable day that you have ever had. As a result, I know you're going to do very well. All right, I'm going to close up for now. Don't forget to like this video, share it with friends and people that you know would love to have some math activity ideas, and leave me some comments. All right, I'm going to close up. As always, have a good one until our next video.